You Africans, please listen to me as Africans. And you non-Africans, listen to me with open mind.
Welcome to the Smiling Sufferer podcast. With me, I have Young G on the mic.
A.K.A. the Black James Bond, man.
Unfortunately, Yeti couldn't make it today. She had an appointment, but she'll be back probably next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you, Yeti.
We do have a guest contributor today, though. Her name is Laura.
Yay!
Laura, how you doing?
Doing great, looking good.
Corey wasn't trying to have that, toxic masculinity going on today with just two men on the show.
Yeah.
So he's like, I still got to replace Yeti one way or the other.
No. I wasn't.
Not
We
in
can't
terms
replace
of
Yeti. We can't replace
replacing,
Yeti. But you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I just wanted to. Laura actually has experience in podcasting. She used to be on the No Rubber show, a guest on the No Rubber show too.
Yeah,
Right?
I heard about
off
that
and
before.
on. It was really fun. I had a great time.
Yeah, I remember that show. It was on
Wasn't like Giddy
Giddy
Lounge?
Lounge?
Yeah, Giddy Lounge. And I think it was Fox, right?
No, it was K.
Oh, it was K?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was someone. Okay, I was thinking of another show. So let's get to it, man. What do you guys think of that track?
Dude, who put you onto that track?
You didn't put me onto that track.
This guy. I have
That was Fireboy, by the way. Fireboy
it's
with
on the YBNL,
with the YBNL family.
Mafia album
Yeah.
that dropped a while back.
You didn't put me on the song.
Dude, I have receipts.
You never
I
sent
put
it
you
to
on
me.
notes.
What are you talking
I
about?
posted it in the group and said, check this. And you're like, oh, it's not really nice.
Okay. So, look, Laura. Sorry. Yeah, I felt like I was kind of leaving you out of the conversation.
Oh no,
You good?
I'll chime in when I need to chime in. Don't worry about me. I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Right off the bat, we're gonna start off with. Oh, I never even introduced myself. This is Corey, everybody. We're gonna start off with Falz. Falz, the
This
bad
guy,
guy.
man, turns
Falz,
out to
the bad
correct
guy.
you, man.
Falz, the bad guy.
F-A-L.
Look, his name is Folari, right?
yes.
So technically, it's
for
really
line
Falz.
is F-O. It's not spelled F-A.
Yeah,
And his last name is Falano.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're
So,
right, you're right.
Fal, yeah.
Falz.
There you go.
So, Falz album, man. Have you guys heard it?
I like it.
Laura,
Yeah.
you're
I
not
like it.
really.
Nah, I don't really listen to that much. I tried to listen to some of his songs
Yeah.
yesterday, but I didn't really get into it.
Well, Falz album, it's called Moral Instruction.
I wish this came out before last episode that we did.
It's a dope album, man.
Because I want to talk about Falz twice. Back
It's a
to
dope
back.
album.
But
I told you, Falz.
No, but I'm
Falz
still not
has started
changing.
the
I'm
year
not
on a
changing.
strong note.
I'm not
Would
changing
you
what
admit
I'm
to
saying.
that?
What I said. Falz is still going up in a steady progression. He's still not top tier, but like when I mean top tier, I mean the top 3-4 people. But he's
Okay.
getting closer.
Okay.
He's still steady. I give him a few more.
But what did you think about the album?
It was good. I think in terms of like replay value, it has. In terms of controversial topics, it's good. There was a little controversy before the album dropped. People were, because he said he doesn't like transactional sex,
Okay.
which I'm guessing it means someone pays for sex. I disagree with that. I'm actually fine with transactional sex. I think it's better to know what you're
Interesting.
getting into than you skimming or trying to game somebody.
But you're fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
It's also transactional. It's not necessarily always financial.
Yes. Oh, yes.
True.
Yes.
True.
So I'm fine with you knowing, look, this is what, heads up, this is what we're into,
What do you want?
Yes.
rather than you skimming
I
it.
appreciate that.
So, Falz, I don't agree with you on that part. But people caught flack because they said he's always singing about Ron's girls and never about like the Aristo men and the sugar daddies and stuff. His
Yeah.
defense is the Ron's girls is the more common scenario that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree with that too, because without the sugar daddies or the Aristos, there'll be no Ron's girls. So it's like it's the same. But I see what he's saying, in terms
Yeah.
of the Nigerian market. But people,
But you can see how it's kind of a problem in Nigeria.
it is it's a big problem.
Like, in
It's-
Nigeria, anytime I go to
It's a
Nigeria,
big problem.
anytime
You don't even know who's making legit money anymore.
back when I was single, anytime if I ever messed with a girl in Nigeria, a lot of times I was never sure if I was paying for it or not paying for it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of times
Yeah.
where, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, sorry. Wait. Onyinka, do you want to hop on the
we
mic?
have a full house, by the
Yeah,
way.
we have a.
I'll hop on mic, but not on video.
No, okay.
Yeah,
you're not
we
on
have a
video.
full house, by the way.
Yeah.
We have, so you might hear extra voices.
Yes, so we also have here with us my sister. She's gonna chime in every now and again.
And his brother too.
Onyinka.
Hi guys.
Yeah. So what were we saying?
Yeah, so we're talking about transactional sex.
Yes.
So he says
I
he
mean,
doesn't like it.
it's safe to say it's a scourge in Nigeria, transactional sex.
Yeah, it's that's the wage, man.
Yeah, but I think where I draw the line is there are some people that are doing it, especially in Nigeria,
Yeah.
that don't have a choice.
What do you mean?
They don't have a choice but to do it. Like
You always have a choice.
the condition. Well, no. Yes, I
Speaking
understand.
of people on the receiving end.
Yes. There are people that they're forced to get into transactional sex because that's
Give me an example.
in Nigeria.
Give an example of the scenario.
If you're like, do you know it's hard to get by back home in Nigeria for like the average person.
Yeah, you do what you have to do.
You do what you have to do, and a lot of times there are men always throwing money at these girls.
So is it safe to say it's not some people's fault for doing 419?
Or stealing.
Oh, that's exactly.
No, it's
I
their
don't
choice. It's always a choice. It's always
a
a choice.
choice, yes.
I'm just saying that there's some people that they have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
It's either okay.
That's
do I
the-
not eat?
so
Do I not feed my
it's- that's
family?
the-
Or do I
That's-
exchange? Do I get something in
that's-
exchange for this
some,
thing
it's-
that I have?
That's the easier way. Even here now, I don't know any.
No,
I
but
don't know how many
but
strippers
you
out
see,
there that are
here
excited
you
to
have
be stripping,
opportunities.
but-
It's not like
Government aids,
Nigeria.
Well,
government
There
aids.
are things available, and that's why we're going to get into this Falz album because he talks about it. He's not just coming out and just saying.
No, but
he-
Corey, don't say that because you're there making it seem like it's not fine, but it's like the same argument could be said for 419, like I just said.
Yes.
Some people feel
Some people are driven to it.
with this one, I'm on the fence. With 419, it's a no because it's illegal.
Yes.
With this, it's not illegal. I mean,
True.
really,
Yeah,
it's
you're right,
illegal.
and that's a very, very
Yeah,
important
so-
distinction because with 419, you're taking advantage of innocent people.
Yeah.
So with 419, there are other people involved that are
But
being taken advantage of.
my problem-
In this case,
Willing participant.
yeah, willing
Yeah.
participant. In this case, someone is making a choice.
I think where Falz was trying to come from and where my problem is you wake up and you see a lot of this, and I like to use them as examples. Actresses, Nigerian actresses. I've never heard of you. Nobody probably heard of you. You've probably been in 2 mediocre movies, and you have a Range Rover. You have a mansion. Where? How? And then you come out and make it seem like it's your hard work.
It is.
Like-
Our legs are hard.
No,
work.
no, that's not.
My question to
No, before you get no.
So-
So yeah, I let. But see, that's the thing is like, just I would rather you were truthful about it or not said anything. Like, why are you painting a different picture? That's why I said with transactional sex, I'm fine when you're not scheming the game. You're not getting money illegal. Well, not illegal, true quote unquote shady ways.
Yeah.
Or telling me about small girl, big God, talking about God did this for you, trying to give other girls like if you work hard.
But
Absolutely.
what she's working hard.
You say yes, I can supply you this, and
Yeah,
Right.
but
Go on.
you say I come out and thank your sugar daddy if you want to, or just say
Laura,
hey, I hustled or whatever.
Laura, you're about to.
No, I wanted him to finish.
So
his
she's saying. So are you saying it's a type of hustle? Or,
transactional sex? We do that every day. Like I don't get it. Is sex really free?
Why
Because if sex
No, in a-
is
in a way.
free and it's not transactional, then
Yeah. We all do it
want
to
it?
an extent.
no wait, hold on. It's sex free.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Oh
it's
no.
free.
But I
No, you can't
Wait,
throw your
wait,
hands.
no,
If sex
pause.
is free,
Chill
but
out.
again,
if
I
sex
get
is really
to
free,
make a
then
choice though.
you get to make a choice.
Yes.
handy when I want it.
That's the
So-
beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it. Okay, so then you're choosing to have sex with who you want to, right?
Absolutely.
So that's still
But
a
not
trend.
for anything.
So if it's not for anything, that's my point. So sex is not really free because in order for you to have sex, in order for sex to be free, right? Then it should just be free whenever you just free, just no money,
Well,
no time,
how about
no
our
effort.
definition is free is different, and that's when that relativity comes in again. Your version of
So-
free is not my version of free, apparently.
Okay, so then we're still saying the same thing. So transactional may mean something for somebody else.
My point is, we just decided that
So
you're
in my
open to
open
yours,
opinion-
and I'm open to mine. At the end
Right.
of the day, yeah.
And
But you can't tell me that what I'm doing is, any different because in my head it's
exactly in her head, she's a small god, big whatever
girl, big
statement
God.
that is.
No, I
Small
don't-
girl with a big god. My thing is everything is a transaction because, and this is my reasoning behind that, right? Women, we have to allocate. We have our bodies, we have our legs, we have our vagina, whatever, right? And we look great. So we allocate our body for sex and we use that for money, right? And men have resources that we need. So we give them sex to get something. And also love, right? Affection, romance, whatever, you know, you're giving something. A man that claims love, right? It's still love. You're still providing her with something. You're still providing her your time, your energy to provide her that stress-free environment. So you are giving her something in order to get something in return. So it's not really free. It's still a transaction.
Okay, fair.
That's my opinion.
Because when you really think about it, like even in dating, right?
Yes.
Guy is taking a girl out in hopes of eventually
Kissing her at the end of the night.
or
Like, I mean,
And
but
also-
I'm saying that's
Yeah.
not that simple.
Yes.
Right.
But I'm
Yes.
confused.
Like you're
though,
gonna make her
because-
have a good time,
Yes.
so she's more
Yes.
malleable
Yes.
to you.
Well, the first thing I said
But what
was,
is the
I'm
end game
fine.
though? What's the end
Right.
game of going? What's the end
No,
game
no.
of a man and a woman hanging
But
out?
then you can admit that there's a possibility that even though yes we do have that choice, and there is some level of transaction to it. You can admit that some people can abuse it, where there's a point where transactional sex can be abusive
There are
to
different
yourself. Like
variations.
there are different variations of what it can be, where there's people that are literally like on the road, like you know
Prostitutes.
being prostitutes, right? We can admit that we all don't want
I
our kids to
recognize-
end up in that
I
kind of
rec-
situation,
I
right? I mean,
recognize-
we will admit that,
I
even though yes, it's their
recognize your-
choice.
I recognize
but-
your stance.
But you can see the risks in doing in it getting to that point.
So
And
is
I think that's what Falz is trying to say, that in Nigeria it's almost gotten to that point where it's your thing is like an ATM machine that you can easily
But the
cash on.
question is it
whenever.
only a risk because they're outside and you guys see them, or is it not a risk if J-Lo is doing it with, I don't know, the governor somewhere and it's hitting? It's only a risk because we know about it.
Where?
He's speaking to the Nigerian market.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Falz,
to-
Falz
to-
is
to
so
Nigerian
Falz,
people.
And let's not. Falz is spoken about fraudsters too. He has
Yeah.
a song on his last album, 24, where he talks. Was it 24, 26, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Where he talks about fraudsters too, and how, you know, obviously it's a thing where people even who don't need money or who are good actually even still get into it.
Yeah.
You see successful,
Yeah.
quote unquote, business women who
Yes.
would rather be like, look, hey, I can find a guy out there who's willing to pay. And Falz, I guess that's where it doesn't like I said in the beginning, I don't have a problem with that. Where I have a problem is when they tend to then make what they're getting from this as they got it from something else. Something, oh, my, you know, you open a store and like, oh, I hustled. Thank God I did this. I paid my tithe. I did all that. And, you know, God blessed me or whatever. But like, dude, just, you're a rose girl.
Anyway,
just say you're a
you
rose
should
girl.
probably rap. You should
Do
probably,
you understand what I'm saying? That's the way I understand it, like,
I understand. Like if you're gonna
own it.
if you're
Just
gonna
own
be
it.
that,
Yeah,
then,
own it. Yeah.
then say you're that, and
Yeah.
do not present yourself
Don't
as
present
something
yourself
else.
as something else, yeah.
I can get with that.
Yeah, and if that's
I
what you
think
want,
for
tell them
me,
that's what you want.
For me, I don't like to cast judgment on anybody for whatever. People do things for all sorts of reasons. The only thing I would say about what Falz said is that just be very cognizant of the fact that not everyone is as privileged as you to have the option to not resort to certain things.
I agree.
And I think those are one of the key things. We have to be able to point out why some things are wrong without still not judging people for it. And I think it's a very, 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 it's a fine balance. And I think ultimately, I get where Falz, his heart is in the right place. I have no reason to think his heart is not in the right place. Because Falz has been talking about these things. He's been making jokes about them in his music. And he's been coming across as like a comedian. But this was
It's
the first
serious-
time
yeah, serious
on this
issues.
album.
He didn't even do
that
any of those his
he-
comedy voices.
He did a switch.
He didn't do all those clowning.
Yeah, no,
stuff,
he didn't. He was
That's why I
serious,
like
and he
it,
was
yeah.
speaking. You guys, moral instruction. It's the best Afrobeat album of the year so far.
Well,
I'm gonna
it's
go
just
out
one-
there
it's just
on a
one
limb
month.
to
It's just
say
a
it's
month.
the most important
I
album.
love it.
And I'll tell you some why this album is so important. For so long, right, Nigerian music, it hasn't reflected the reality on the ground.
It hasn't.
It
No.
hasn't. I mean, yeah, you have some very, very fringe music fringe voices out there that say things, but their music isn't where it needs to be. And for the first time, we have I guess quote unquote mainstream Nigerian artist that's suddenly putting this thing on the forefront.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through this album. I'm going to point out some of the things that he said. So let's start out with the very, very first track, the very first standout track. Before you start, it's called Hypocrite, right? think it's track 3. Very powerful song. On this song, he calls out all sorts. He calls out our homophobia. He calls out people that he shamed wife beaters, and he talked about how all these hypocrites that they come after these people.
Oh, I don't drink, I don't smoke, but your heart is like dirty as shit.
And they pick on other groups. Like,
did he touch on the church?
No, it was a different track.
We'll get there.
The first track was you should. I think you should go track by track. Because the first track was Johnny.
Yes, which was a good track too. It was a very good album.
Police brutality,
but we don't have too much time, so let's start with Hypocrite. Listen, check this out.
They do like saying that them be Jesus. People so wicked, but they so religious. Who they calculate, they show the figures. Who they demonstrate, where they run, leave us. People to complain, but they fear to speak up. You don't want to die, but nothing to live for. Christian and corrupt, no supposed be mixture. Real Musulumi, no supposed they teeth drop. Real talk, no be fight, rara. Everybody gets it fault for inside matter. When they talk human rights, we no respect that. Who are we to crucify the homosexuals? Most of una don't they involve from time, but no be anybody business who you want climb. You they form gentleman when we deal with you, but you go still go home, beat your wife to soup.
People judge you like say they know the shit. People judge you like say they know the breed. People judge you like say they get superpower. People judge you like say they know the weak. Nobody want to slow way, you know the reap. Everybody is a motherfucking hypocrite.
That's true, man. For the most part, we're all hypocrites. Like,
could you guys hear that? Did you hear? Did you hear the wording?
I don't think he could.
I didn't hear the wording. We just heard the music.
No, he was going in.
He spoke about you form gentleman, but you go home and beat your wife.
Yes.
He talk about who are we to criticize
to crucify the homosexuals.
Yeah, it's a lot of things he spoke about. If you keep listening to it, it talks about way more stuff. He said Christianity and corruption shouldn't be. It should not be this. You can't say it in the same sentence.
Yes,
I mean, I'm sure he's talking about the VP and that and the president stuff like that. Because that's one of the reasons why that guy won. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's a Christian," So stuff like that, I like it. I love it. Kudos to Falz.
Kudos. The next track that I want to talk about is Amen. This is where he samples Fela's coffins for head of state. Look, this guy, he took it back there, man. He took it back. Like, he brought it back to what it started with, the things that we always talk about, the things Fela stood for, the things Fela fought against. He brought it back there. And for me, I feel like we need to highlight this, because it was almost like we're in these days where everyone is dancing. We're acting like everything is all perfect. We're all living in our little bubbles. But you look at the state of where we are in Nigeria, the state of suffering. I mean, they said at this point where we have the poorest population in the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's embarrassing, and we call ourselves Nigerians. This is what it's all about. I feel like far too often we don't elevate some of the messages that we really need to elevate. But check this one out. This is Amen. He samples Fela's coffin for head of state. He comes for the pastors in this one. He comes for the religions, man, and he calls out their hypocrisy too. So check this out.
Pull up in that Rolls Royce Ghost. My bodyguard armed, dog, I don't come close. I get bread, bakery, in my condo, but I dey feed 5,000 with only one loaf. My dope, they flow, Oluwagba control. My goal is to make sure you give Christ your soul. If you don't put your offering and tithes in the bowl, blessing on your life goes slow. Yeah, now so them talk, we chop, we gullible to the core. If you drop all you got, it's impossible to be poor. Put your hand in your purse, give everything to the judge, and I promise you the Lord will come knocking on your door. It's funny when you say I'm moving like an unbeliever. It's ironic you tell me to be my brother's keeper. Take our offering, set up uni, and your church members can't even afford the school fee.
That's what I always tell everybody who's always talking about Redeem and all these other churches out there. I'm like, nigga, your church has universities, but can the average member of your freaking church go to that university?
Tell them.
And then they start looking at me like, no, you have
tell
to.
them.
Like, I don't even want to get on my rant about churches, man.
Tell
I told
them.
you, Christianity in Nigeria is a cult. It's cultism
Let them know
at its peak.
Let
I'm
him
happy
know.
Falz said about this thing. It's cultism. Man. You
Let
guys
him
are
know.
not, you're not religious. You're cultists.
Let him know.
Like, man, do you know like why does a pastor need 3 private jets? Why? Where you going? I heard one of them talk about he's trying to get a helicopter. Now, nigga, get your ass in traffic, man. Are you mad? Are you telling me that if Jesus was here, he'll be flying? But you're talking about your man of God, but your congregations are suffering. Well, hey, man.
Shout out to Daddy Freeze, by the way.
You know, no, I mean,
Shout out Daddy
and then that's the
Freeze.
thing about Freeze comes out, you know, and obviously sometimes he be doing too much, but he's trying to come out and say, you know, I saw a clip about a pastor, I wish I brought it, where he talked about, apparently is a thing in Nigeria where people give their first. You're first of everything. So like people actually give their first paychecks, like the whole thing to church. And the pastor was like, he came out to show verses in the Bible that said, give a percentage of your finest crops, a portion. He used 3 different translations to show it just says a piece. And he says, pastors, you're letting people give you their whole salary. So how are they going to survive in that month? How are they going to eat? How are they going to get by? How are they going to do anything? But you're willing to collect it and say thank you.
You know what it is?
And that's a pastor preaching that, look, Christians, read your Bible. In your Bible, it says a percentage.
So the thing about it is, in Nigeria, it's almost like things are so hopeless for some people that we need something to be.
Yes, we need faith.
And what these people do is they understand that if I can give them something, if I can dangle a carrot in front of them, you know, I show how successful I am. You know, it's giving them some level of hope. So some people do argue that the church serves like a strategic purpose. Now, the thing is, obviously, they abuse it. We know that they abuse it.
They abuse it a lot.
We know that they abuse it. But it's one of those things where you also have to also understand too that it comes back to the government.
Yeah, and the government likes it.
It always comes back to the government and that's why we shouldn't be relying on these institutions for hope.
But the thing about Christianity is, and I do go to church, you know, and the thing is, like, I remember pastor saying, look, you shouldn't, if you feel you need God for something, the moment you get it, you're going to leave God. So the thing is, because things are so bad in Nigeria, people feel like they need God. And pastors make it seem like, yes, you need God. Not like for you to feel like actually, you know, you need God outside of even when you're successful. Yeah. And a lot of people end up having, that's another thing like I heard in church, was like they end up having relationships with their pastors rather than God. They believe for God to answer my prayer, I have to go through my pastor. That's the switch. And like the church I go, the pastor literally said one time, like, it was like, dude, I don't come to church for you guys. And you guys shouldn't come to church for me. You know, I'm here to, you know, but you shouldn't feel like what, you know, if I touch you, you're going to get healed or whatever. Like, you should have your own relationship with God.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not God, you know, but a lot of Nigerians have. So whatever their pastor says, I saw the thing in Redeem where, you know, I don't like to call names, but Redeem is a church everybody like to talk about, and Adeboye and all of them, and I'm like, look, but I saw the time when he went to this service and he stood up and he left, and the church was allowing people to line up and touch his chair that he sat on. They put their hand on the chair, put it on their head. First of all, that's nasty. Number one. Number two, what are you trying to gain from that? What are you trying to say? That, oh, this is where the man of God sat. So if I touch it, like, Jesus
I'm curious
Christ.
though, what do you think compels us Nigerians
Jesus Christ.
to keep doing it
Because
over, like a year later you're not richer,
because
but
you
keep
see
doing
somebody in
it
your, so what's going to happen is you see somebody in your church, so you see that politician who stole government money come and tell you how he was looking for a contract and give a testimony. You see that 419 boy who was just shady, just swap someone, came to talk about testimony. You see that runs girl who comes in with the Range Rover. You don't know where the backstory is, and you see them and they tell you how, I believe in God. I believe, like, last year was rough for me, and then I decided to go to church, but things got better. But it's not, I didn't feel like I was being manipulated. I didn't feel like if I didn't give offering or tithe or anything,
you weren't gonna.
I wasn't going to do anything.
Right.
Truthfully, I didn't pay tithe once last year, but at the end of the year, everything I asked God for, I got it. New job, more money in my account, everything I asked for.
Talk about it.
I got
talk about it.
But I didn't feel like once, because not once did they make me feel like, dude, if you don't pay this tithe, you're not going to get what you want. No one's didn't make me feel like if you don't pay offering, you're not going to get what you want.
We have some ways to go. We have some ways
So,
to
you
go
know,
in
but
that
that's the
regard.
thing. They don't think,
We
you know,
have some
I
ways
want
to go.
me doing this to be me willingly being like, you know what?
We have some ways.
Here's
I feel
a
like
check. Here's a
in a lot of
percentage.
ways, the church, like, the church gives the society, like Niger society, like it's like an opium for the church sometimes. Like it's for them. That's the way.
Yeah.
That's the only way they can make sense of this madness.
It's safe haven.
It's like being in hell.
It's safe haven
every day.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I saw a little BBC clip one time where they sent this guy to go look at some pastor in Nigeria, and when he opened a new branch. He calls Pastor Sign Fireman or something like that. And he opened a new branch.
Yeah, I know that guy.
And when he was opening the branch, it was like in the hood. And he had the testimony from his lead pastor was like, 3 months ago, I had no car, I had tattered clothes, I had no house. I met Pastor Fireman. Today I have a mansion, I have 3 cars, I wear designer clothes. If you know you want the same God to do the same thing to you, you know, this was right before they were asking for offering and tithe. And I saw the videos around and I saw like, God forgive me, the poverty in the room. And I was seeing like this market women. I'm like, fam, you don't make a lot of money. The pastor saying if you want to drive this year, if you want to drive a Hummer, this, and I'm like, miss, let's be realistic. You make probably 100 naira a day. How are you going to get a Hummer?
They're taking advantage of them.
But he's watched it and she believed that, man, this guy said 3 months ago he was like me. God is not a magician.
Yeah.
Can I even add? Could you compare it to, you know, like say any of the serial killers that you wonder, wait, how do these people follow them? You know, like how you open a space for love, and you say it's, you know, people are attracted to that as well. Not just even the money, because you have to wonder, wait, 2 years later you're not richer, so it's almost like this space is like love. You know, like I got stuff going on at home. My husband kind
there's
of
a lot going on there.
Yeah, they beat you.
Like
there's a lot
going on. Sanctuary.
There's a lot going on.
Sanctuary.
You have
enough.
the
And the
woman.
pastor knows that they're going to tap into that. And you come.
There's a lot going on.
I swear,
that
I saw
alone
one.
is enough to draw some
One
people
last
there.
clip.
Praise and worship.
There was
Even
one last
that,
clip I saw. The pastor told. Hold on.
It's almost therapeutic whenever they do.
Yes,
praise
and pastors know that.
Corey, there was one I saw.
know.
The pastor was trying to mend a
lure
marriage.
you in.
Yeah, it's kind of
Love you.
The pastor was trying to mend a marriage together, and according to the situation, the woman said the man said he just didn't like her. She said he goes out and he sleeps out. He's trying to marry someone or something like that. So the pastor is trying to mend him in public, and he's asking the man the problem, and he's saying stuff like, "Oh, she doesn't really cook for him," stuff like that. And he's saying she's like, "She cooks, but he doesn't eat my food." And the pastor had the audacity to tell her that, "You see, I'm talking to your husband, but you're talking that you are the problem." That without knowing, I know you're the problem. And I'm looking at like the old church, all the women are like, "Yes, pastor." And I'm like, "You people are foolish," because tomorrow when it happens to you, this is the same shit that's going to happen. That man is going to look, and I'm like, dude, everything this woman has said, if it's true, the guy's a piece of shit. But because he's a man, because he's Nigerian, because you're like, no, you have to respect your pastor. You know, and that's what happens.
Also very charismatic men.
Yes.
There's, you know, like
it's part of it.
That's what like you're attracted to that. Like
it's like they're selling a
like
lifestyle.
Yes, and you want to go.
Your husband just
speaking of those, we need to go to the next track because we've been on this for a while. But this is some really
go on and on about this.
Like we could spend
man.
an entire episode on this joint, man. I swear to God. Please, can you play the next joint? This one is Paper, and it comes for ritualists and Yahoo boys and some other people on here. But check this out. This one is called Paper. Things we do for the paper.
No, they see danger. No go lose your center. All because of paper. Them say see danger. You know they see danger. No go lose your center. All because of paper.
All because they offer you a little dollar. Now which kind of foolish marriage where you throw your daughter? Small girl picking where a hero Stevie Dora. Small picking there we never supposed to leave the mother. You need to hammer, need to get the dough, it ain't important. You want to shop national cake, you dey pray for contracts. Then give you Ghana must go, make you change the numbers. Voting never start, you don't say your congrats. Why your people no feel hide this long throat? No go use your dirty hand, stain the white for my cloth. Mouth full of jokes, hand full of notes. Oh, I hear your people collect price for some votes. Them say you talk, say you know like suffer. And so you go and dip your 2 hands in our coffers.
Them say see danger. You know they see danger.
Okay, so first of all, just listening to the album again as we're listening to it now, I'm going to change something I said before.
What?
I'm going to put Falz as number 5 in my list.
You see what I'm talking about here.
Number 5.
You see what I'm telling you?
What I've been using to judge him, I don't think it's fair on him.
Yeah, he's a different kind of artist.
Yes, he's a different kind of artist.
This is not about melodies for him.
Different. Yeah, it's what I've been using to judge Falz it's this album. I've listened to it. I listened to it all day at work. I listened to it like on my way there, on my way back. I've listened to it like he. Shout out to him.
You're reminded, like, wait.
I think he's entered that 5th position.
Yo, he's
top 5.
He's saying something, man. Yes. Yeah, but I think that, I mean, there was one more. There was one last clip I wanted to play. Cheech. I think it's the 9, the very last one. It's like the spoken word. This one's very short.
After all said and done, I do not have the right to direct the finger of guilt or the look of contempt at my guy. For even I can barely see through the speck in my eye. I say this to say that we all have a part to play. Nítòótọ́ àti ṣìnà, àti gbégbági, àti kọlu jàmbá. Ṣùgbọ́n àwa yóò dìde, a ó sì tẹ̀síwájú. Nítorí pé after all said and done, we are still the most resilient bunch. If we can redefine love and remember the meaning of humanity, maybe then we can restore the sanity. If we remember to react and repeatedly refuse to be content with mediocrity, only then can we be free.
Yo, give me them air horns. Give me them air horns. Give me them air horns.
Dude.
God damn.
You got it?
God damn.
There we go.
That's right. Woo! Falz, thank you. I have to tell you, thank you for this album.
He did a good
Moral
job,
Instruction. Please go check it out.
I
was looking forward to this episode because like there was so much he was saying in this thing that I just wanted to get out there. But yeah.
Another reason why I put, you know who he knocks off my top 5?
Who?
Olamide. Another reason why I
Olamide.
put in my head of Olamide.
The man of the streets.
You know why I put in my head is because I feel like Falz is taking the hard road to get to the top. Like
hard.
He's taking the
hard.
way,
hard.
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 He's taking the
hard.
And people try to overshadow.
And he's taking risks. You know, like they might ban some of this stuff.
Yeah,
on the radio.
you have because of the whole statement of transactional sex. You have all these people coming out and say, "Oh no, we don't like." I don't agree with what he said, but this stop me from listening to this beautiful body of work, and it's amazing. You know, so. Olamide,
I'll give you 3 smiles.
You take out of 3.
Yeah, 3 out of 3.
3 out of
Laura,
3.
Laura. So what did you think
about the album?
I mean, based on everything I heard thus far, I really like the lyrical content.
You did?
Everything, yes. I'm shocked that you even compare Falz to Olamide. Like, it's just no comparison.
Really?
Opinion. However, I respect, your opinion.
So my music top 5 is it's not.
Wait. So you're saying Falz is better or is nowhere as good?
No, it's way better lyrical.
Oh, yeah, but it's not only lyrics or talent.
It's also presence.
We
have our metric.
We have a metric system for doing that.
It's
top
very
5. Mr. Easy is number 4. If you would believe that or not,
So
a lot of people sometimes don't see
some
it.
people.
Well,
So we had some listeners that
there
was a listener that was pissed at me.
Davido Wizard.
Wale, there was a top 2 that was pissed at me, and they said we did not put Yemi Alade in our top tier.
Yeah, so Yemi Alade. I tried. I'm not gonna lie. Whoever that person was, I went to listen to Yemi Alade again and again.
I tried too.
I tried.
I was like,
God,
there was only so much.
There was only so much.
It's
I
a
could
jingle.
Take.
She does jingles.
There was Sorry. I listened to. There was one I listened to recently. I forget what it was called. It wasn't bad.
What was it? Bum Bum?
No, it wasn't Bum Bum.
Was it Oga?
I can't remember what
the Oga one. They got pissed at her because she dressed as a
Yemi Alade. So here's the thing on Yemi Alade, and she does have the numbers, and I won't discredit her. That's actually why I agreed to talk about it, because stats is one of the reasons why Mr. Easy is number 4 in my list.
Look, I think at some point she was a top tier.
I think now Yemi Alade has gone out and spoken about how
during Johnny.
90
million views.
Yeah, she's spoken about how she believes she can sell out.
Yeah.
Which you're not you're not selling out the same venues as Davido.
I agree.
Let's forget that part.
I don't even think she's top 10.
Yeah,
period.
I don't think so. If I'm being honest,
as an African artist, you have to be in different streams. Like, she's
Yemi
not
Alade
really doing anything.
But here's the thing: Yemi Alade can't hold her. I don't know if I've seen a Yemi Alade live in concert in Nigeria where she's headlined it, or where she's one of the top artists. You see how Davido, Wiz, the rest of them toured the world. when I see Yemi's tour of outside of Africa,
Speaking of touring,
it's not a lot. Like
some
that.
people are doubting. People are doubting that Davido can sell out the O2.
So Davido's been saying it. So, and that's the problem with Davido. Like
some people are already doubting.
Davido has said he sold out the O2, but you can still buy tickets. Then I think he changed and said the standing section is sold out. Do I believe Davido can sell out O2? I think so.
We started this conversation. No, stop trying to be politically correct.
I think so.
And look, Wale.
I think so. Willie, I don't know, but I think he can sell it out.
Wale, you brought this up. You planted this bug in my head last week.
No, what?
You planted this bug in my head last week.
I had
Wale,
a bad year.
That he might be slipping.
He had a bad year, is what I said.
But I'm saying right now, did you hear the last song he put out?
That Bum Bum song.
The Bum Bum.
First of all, let me even. I've
Come
not
on.
listened to it. But
I listened
number
to
one,
it.
Davido.
I listened to it.
Davido.
It was
If
weak.
you ever hear this, yes, Bum Bum was kind of. But dude, that's why I told you they wrote Wonder Woman for him. First of all, like you could have waited like 4 more songs. Like you bring out a song empowering quote unquote women, and then your next song has a challenge where you're telling women to shake their ass for $3,000. It has a Bum Bum challenge saying shake your ass for $3,000.
messaging is
it's
not-
like guy now, like you could have waited
it's
like
not
2 more
consistent.
songs. Like do you understand? Like why you brought out a video? You were pandering to women. You put out your baby mamas that one of them you're already fighting with again. You put all these people. It's tone deaf. You put all these people in there. You don't have to. You just wanted the attention. You did it, and then the next song that comes out is $3,000 for this Bum Bum challenge. Or however much it is, shake your bum bum. And now you got all the girls on Instagram sending twerk videos up and down to your song. It's like, isn't there like a negative? It's 2 different topics, and that's why I said I give Falz that shit.
So Laura, so what do you think? You've been really quiet. I want to make sure that that we're not just boring you.
No, you're not. No, you're
music
not.
Talk.
No. When it comes to Davido, honestly, I agree with the fact that you can't come out with an empowering woman song and then
The next song.
However, I do believe that he's just trying to be. What's the word? He's just trying to be out there, be more famous, make more music, sell more tickets. At the end of the day, to be quite honest, making meaningful songs like Falz is making only takes you so far. Truthfully, people want to listen to tone deaf music. Who really buys music that has quality and great content? I don't. I'm not. When you go to a party and you're at a club, do you want to listen to?
Falz,
you want to listen to.
They don't play this album.
But that's why it's important that we're talking about this.
Yes, and that's why I give him that number 5 still.
Listen to it at home.
Yes, listen to it.
Yep. This is important.
And that's what Davido is doing.
He's was for us.
Yes. So he's making music. I mean Davido now. I'm saying I'm speaking about like he's making music, quality music that somebody else wrote for. Because to be quite honest, Davido is not someone that writes his music. I haven't really heard anything that he wrote and he claims that he wrote. It was given a track and he made money off of it because it's Davido. It's not someone that writes. It's not a Wizkid who writes music. He's not.
I love Starboy, man.
You know, so that's just where it boils down to, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Wonder Woman to me was him trying to just get attention, putting the 3 women. So I think Davido is a showman. Davido to me is more like a. Oh, don't let me disrespect. It's not disrespect. Like a D'banj. D'banj is an entertainer.
Yes.
Davido is the D'banj lane. Do you understand? Wiz is more in a two-faced lane. If we're like talking more of the, but Davido is more in the. He's an entertainer.
Wizkid has his sound.
Wizkid has his sound.
Very unique.
Wizkid doesn't. You don't even know where Wizkid is right now. You know, he posted on Twitter the other day, just sorry to talk about Wizkid, where he said, I'm going to March or whatever. And then one of my boys who loves Wizkid as much as me, this is how we found out where he was. We saw Future's Instagram. Future's like, I'm seeing Wizkid in London. I'm like, oh, he's in London. You know, no one knew where it was. But Davido is going to post you the video of when Future was FaceTiming me saying, come through, pull up.
No, but
you know what I'm saying?
But you can't get mad at
that. No, I'm not getting mad. That's what I'm saying.
That's social media.
That's what I'm saying. He's an entertainer. You know, and then Davido, I will give you a shout out though. The song you have with Casanova and what's his face? I like that song. Casanova. What's Casanova's song with Tory Lanez and Davido? Obviously, you made a good impression with Cass for him to put you on there. And I shout out to that. That was a good song. But yeah, Davido is more of a showman, and like and that's what sells for him. That's why I think, regardless of music, I still think Davido can sell out the O2 back to what Corey was saying. Because first of all, there's so many Nigerians in England. They probably haven't seen him live in concert in a long time. So I don't think he will, but I think he can. He has the capacity.
If he
to sell it.
has everyone to in his label join,
They're
and it
coming. They're all coming
features
in.
other artists,
It's only them.
Maybe. Well, then I
It's
don't
only
believe
them.
it could happen. He has to have other artists to join in.
We'll see. It's
We'll see,
next week,
we'll
I
see.
think. So
Anyway,
you know,
I think we're due for a break. So
go
why
buy a
did you
ticket.
want to?
So break song. All right. So before we play the song, so this is the Zanku wave going on right now.
Yeah.
And I heard some rumors about how Zanku started in South Africa or whatever. And stuff
It
like
looks
that.
like a
Yeah.
South African, one of the
But
South African.
today, no, but Christmas time in Nigeria, you know, we were talking about songs that were going to blow, Able Gun and everything. But I heard this is one of the songs that actually made waves in Nigeria. It's a South African song. It's just a house beat kind of DJ kind of track. It's just a danceable song. So it's called Skeleton Move by DJ Master Cage, my bad. And it's featuring, I can't forget her name, but yeah.
Right.
Enjoy.
No matter where you go, remember the road that will lead you home. No matter.
Yeah, so that's one of for those of you
Did that song have any words in it?
like some girl sang
Like-
like in the beginning, in the middle. It's just one of those.
That song was like 100 minutes long.
Yeah, it's long. But it was. I heard it did a lot of damage in Nigeria
Really?
this Christmas, and like I looked into it. And
Really?
it did a lot of damage, man. It reminds me of when like Windeck. You know Windeck?
No, what's that?
It was this guy. I forget his name. It was this from Angola. This artist.
Like one of those house EDM.
When he made it in Nigeria. Nigerians every now and then would rep a song that's not Nigerian but it's African. And going hard, you know, all them Coupe de Calais kind of music sometimes.
Yeah.
So this is, I guess, it's the one they picked for the Christmas time and stuff like that.
Okay. So right off the bat, we're gonna talk about this recent Gillette ad that came out. Gillette, for those that don't know, is a razor company. They put out an ad.
All the
ad-
men here got beards, so we good.
Yeah.
The beardless men might not know about it.
The ad has like over 20 million views on YouTube. Last time I checked, that was like a few days ago.
Yes. It's probably doubled.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of views. It actually has twice as many likes as twice as many dislikes as likes. Yeah. So people hated it. There's like a lot of men a million dislikes. Can you imagine how pissed you have to be to go on YouTube
dislike
and say,
video?
I'm going to dislike.
And it's not a video that is of
a million of them. Yeah. But basically, the ad talks about toxic masculinity, and they tried to shame like toxic masculinity.
Oh, where guys, let's you know,
the stereotypical.
Yeah, the stereotypical toxic.
Male symbols.
Yeah. And basically in the ad, there are parts where you have like a guy about to holler at a girl,
and then his boy
holds him
like
no, you know, I
take
guess
a chill pill,
no cat calling. I guess.
Like,
there was another one where there were some two boys fighting, and the father ran to him. Children, we don't do that here or something. It was kind of corny. I mean, the message was that, you know, the stereotypical way that we look at, you know, what it means to be a man, that we need to rein that in. And I guess they ended with the tagline, is this the best a man can get? But in that ad, there were some traditional aspects of masculinity that were in there that were, I wouldn't say necessarily toxic, but just more like stereotypical, like annoying stuff. There was another one where they had it was like a comedy show was going on, and some guy went to his wife and like tried to touch his her booty, and everyone was laughing and everyone was going ha 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 ha. It was it was weird. It was just like, why is it coming from a Gillette?
I
ad?
liked it. I mean, I think it was just a strategic marketing thing for me. I really liked it. I don't think anything is wrong with it. I think the point of that commercial is that men should hold other men accountable. That's the point. That's what I saw out of it. Okay. And I really don't want to bring the whole idea of feminism into it. Like, I don't feel like a woman. I don't feel like a woman can hold a man accountable in certain situations.
That only man can.
In certain situations, for example, if another man is fighting his woman, right, and you want to bring a whole, can you imagine what it would be like if the old police force was a woman? Just imagine it, and then some man is fighting you, and he has a bunch of his friends, and the old police force women go make him accountable. I doubt that there will be any resolution in that. So I think the whole point was to.
I don't know, man.
Can you imagine like 4 guys, 4 men, masculine men, and 4 women?
Let's not
fighting.
use cops because I mean you got weapons, so that's
no. Outside of that,
someone,
I'm saying the point was to make women.
Someone on Twitter said this, and I thought they kind of made a point. They were like, I'd like one sanitary pad company to do an advert calling out women for nagging, false rape accusations, paternity fraud, this person is really pissed. Pregnancy fraud, prostitution, and infanticide. Then tell them to do better, since we are trying to be ignorant.
So that's kind of off topic. I don't see a real correlation.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like they were trying to correct, but they overcorrected. They went too far.
They went too far. Yeah.
Like they went too far.
Me, I said, okay, so my thing on this whole men stuff, I'm not really the whole, when somebody says, oh, all men are scum, and they start going, your father is a scum, I'm not a scum, I'm not really about that lifestyle. The one I did have a problem was man spreading. I just felt like everybody does it. So why are you calling it? Why are you making it specific? In this ad, it's going to things that's specific to men. So this is on topic.
But men actually do manspread.
Men manspread, yes, but women manspread too.
No,
I'm sorry, women manspread too. Women spread.
But that's a false comparison. Of course, women do it, but the ratio of men to women. Listen, I don't know how many
the ratio of men, but
Subway. You just see the
yes,
men like,
but then they make manspreading seem like you'd only do it to a woman. Also.
No,
that was also another thing. It's just that's why I feel like people. Okay, everybody just sits down.
But some people they called it a
microaggression from men. That was where I had a problem. It's like, why are you making it seem like I intentionally go and sit down and say I'm going to spread my leg?
Overcorrecting. It's a microaggression on men and women.
On men and women, yes. So that's why I was like, why don't we just make it?
That's what always happens. We see a problem in society
and we overcorrect.
We overcorrect.
Yeah. But back to Gillette.
And then
So back to Gillette. So the ad. I didn't pay attention to the ad when I saw it. I just watched it and I was like, okay, cool, But then people started getting mad. And I was like, what's going on? I don't think Gillette did anything wrong.
It wasn't a big deal.
It wasn't a big deal. It's like, it's not as wrong as 1 million people disliking it. It's not. And there are arguments till today. I recently, someone was talking about, I don't want to say too much, but someone was talking about something about, there's still men today that hold women to different standard if you've had sex with a certain number of people and stuff like that. So we still live in that world. And I was like, dude, we shouldn't still be living in that world. So same thing goes with this ad. It's just saying, no, when women do stuff or when stuff happens, it's always like, oh, she was dressing seductively. She was doing this. Women need to stop putting themselves in a situation. Well, yeah, you need both people to stop being in that situation. So as long as you're talking to women saying stop doing this, Gillette is saying also talk to men.
Here's my
saying,
thing.
Guys,
I think they
do
tried
better.
to pull a Nike. They tried to pull a Nike.
Yes.
They did try to pull a Nike.
The difference with Nikes was more empowering. They were trying to just say that.
It felt genuine.
It felt,
Yes, it felt genuine.
They took action on a real cause that has real change and real impact. These guys, they feel like they were taking advantage of a Me Too moment and piggybacking and then totally missing the mark. Like the CEO should have come out and made a statement or a speech.
It felt so like it was so it was too obvious.
Are you saying are you saying people that are angry are justified to be angry?
I think they're putting too much energy into it.
It's too much energy.
And then what are they angry about? Are they angry about? It was just a crappy commercial. But I think
how about this? I think there's also prior to this, there's also been a wave of this anti-man speech that's been going on lately.
So
that was why people felt like there was a bit of a piling on. In a way, there were aspects of it where it was like they were trying to villainize men.
Being
almost.
a man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
so. That's where this commercial didn't help.
Yeah,
it didn't help. Because that's not the conversation we should be having.
No,
like the picture they painted is not. It doesn't help the conversation at all.
But they still won though, because the whole point is to strike a conversation. And we are having this conversation.
Exactly.
So
they did.
For
For
that,
that's true.
They did.
Commend them
but the PR, it's been a nightmare though.
They did. People were boycotting
Gillette. More people hate it.
People were like,
than they like it.
But I think it will all boil down to sales.
So
we'll see what their sales is looking
but
like.
But then again, Gillette, how are their
quarter.
sales doing in the first place?
But then we'll see how it's doing now.
That's why they did.
Any of you guys
then
shave
we'll see
yourself
what's
using
doing
Gillette?
now,
Do any of you guys use? No, I don't. I don't own a Gillette product.
Actually, no, I don't. I wax.
I don't have a Gillette product, so I don't know. It doesn't affect me.
I'm not gonna go buy it.
I'm not going. But so I don't think my own thing
look like you shave. Stop.
I don't even think it's that big of a deal like people are making it. I don't think. I feel like if you don't like it, just move on. If you feel like you're being attacked, it's not like Gillette hasn't done anything for me where it's like
I feel there are other conversations.
There are other important conversations. Gillette is saying, okay,
a waste
of
space.
But that brings me to my next topic, because that's what I was talking about, just this idea of when people villainize men. But I've noticed, and this is our thread etiquette of today, I've noticed a particular trend on Twitter. These guys are guys that I consider to be
people villainize white men. Not men in general. It's white men.
Well, yes, specifically.
No, but
I know you're just messing around.
I was like, wait, but African Nigerian girls, where they talk about me.
It's the Pickme boys.
Well, I don't blame them though. Yeah, Pickme, I hate them.
I'm sure you guys have heard of Pickme girls.
I hate
Pickme
them.
girls.
So I've never heard it my first time.
Pickme are people who pander towards. They want to present themselves in a way where it's like a dumb girl that
pick me.
Yeah, pick me. So it's like a girl comes out and says
like always signaling.
I don't have to put. She posts a picture and put a caption like, I cook, I clean. I don't have to be naked to show how beautiful I am. Like, shut the fuck up.
So it's another way of a thirst trap.
Yes.
But trying to pander towards men,
like trying to project moral values,
moral values,
or trying to project things that they think
is morally right. Men want women,
and this is for Pickme girls.
That's Pickme.
So that's Pickme girls.
So the girl comes out.
So they post stuff on Twitter, right?
With captions about.
They can say stuff like, I love to cook. So much.
I love to cook.
But
I don't go to the club.
Here's the thing. I don't mind people that put themselves out there that talk about things that they want.
So then what happens to people that don't cook?
Be able to cook.
But
what if you can't
cook? So you like to cook. Sorry.
Yes, that first and foremost.
Let's commit to the act.
My own is it's when you down
other people, yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem we always feel. We always feel like for me to get ahead, I have to step on you.
So the ones that I have a problem with is the ones that come out and say, all these girls that can't even cook.
They want to say yes.
I don't
use a caption like.
Okay, but what if I don't really think
use a caption like I don't have to be naked to show my beauty. You're throwing shade at people.
Yeah, it's almost like you're trying to throw shade at people.
Look at you.
Well, that's just
passive.
Passive. So that to me,
it's aggressive.
That's the one I'm like, guys, post your. So people reply and say, post your picture and go. The same way they used to do it to the girls who post the thirst traps and be like, you put some caption that doesn't make sense. They're like, look, just post your picture.
But you guys get the idea. I don't want to spend too long on it. But I really want to talk about Pickme boys.
Oh my God,
so disgusting.
Yes.
So these are the guys.
I'm late to the game.
So with this new wave of feminism and basically men bashing. Every day you go on Twitter, it's like men are scum, men are this. It doesn't bother me anymore. Like I'm over it. I'm just like it's Twitter. Twitter will do Twitter things.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But then you have these guys that they want to project to these feminists, right? And I guess they want to get their approval. So what they do is they go online and they talk about how trash men are. These are guys are like bashing themselves.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe he did that.
These guys, and they go on there on Twitter and
reply.
This is real life.
It's the worst thing ever, man.
So let me give you like
you guys.
I'm going to make a hypothetical situation. So let's say a girl tweets about how, I went on this date and I ended up. It was the worst date ever. He just kept talking about his ex, and he was like liking girls' pictures on Instagram. You see someone say, "Wow, what on a date? He really did that to you? Like, what's going on with men today? Like, you have a beautiful woman in front of you. Like,
our
why don't
beautiful queens,
like our beautiful queens? You see, and this one, like, guys, shut the fuck up, man. Like,
I can't stand
this are the kind of things they do. They try to come in and pander towards this women in the direction of pick me too, and you know. It's just the same thing.
And you know what? You know what about the thing about these guys is
they're the worst of the worst, though.
Even when they end up with these girls, right?
They'll do worse.
Here's what's gonna happen. It's always one of two things. They'll get tired of pretending.
Yeah.
They'll get tired of this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's either that.
It's a charade. It's hard to keep up an act.
It's hard to keep up.
It's a charade. Yeah.
Either that or the girls will get sick of them. Like, who's this?
Yeah, guy, it's a charade. Man.
Yeah,
or maybe a few of these guys are really like that and.
It could be that too. But you know what? You know what? Even if it's that, don't down other people to elevate yourself.
So I think that's really I completely agree.
Especially
with
whenever they generalize on men.
In life in general, when you're looking at what other people are doing, then you're not even living your best life. Like why are you worried about?
We spend so much time doing that shit.
And that's also introspective on us. Like if somebody is bothered about this person's conversation, I'm like that's on you. I'm like, it shouldn't.
It is.
Like, it's not cool, but I'm like, I don't know where you are in your life's journey that you have a problem with men. Like, not all men are bad. And when I hear that, I don't feel like they're talking about me or anybody that
I never feel.
I don't like talking about anybody that I know. It's not cool. It's not nice.
I can even understand when some women say it because maybe they might have gone through certain
a real experience
from the perspective of their, of their gender. But it's when guys pretty much self-bash, like self-hate.
I wish I could.
And then talk in general terms about men. It's
like,
what the fuck is
depends.
No, overcorrecting.
But it depends.
Who are you trying to impress?
No, but you do know when a guy is trying. You know when a guy is pretending.
You can always tell.
Like you can always. I know maybe you might, but for us we can always tell.
A stupid person.
Sorry. Yeah, you know when a guy is pretending to be interested in everything you like.
They're lost.
Exactly. Yes, they're lost. Yeah. You know when a guy pretends to be interested in everything you like, just so you can give him attention. That's just what it is. Basically, it's like you're pretending to be this person you think this quote unquote online feminism wants you to be, and you're not really about that lifestyle. Just because you want to slide in a DM or you want to fuck, whatever, but you're pretending. It's like, guy, I'll find out. So that's the real pick me guy.
They're constantly apologizing for their manhood.
You see, I've seen it so many times. I apologize on behalf of all men out there.
Shut the
guys, shut up, man.
Anyways, but that brings me to my next topic.
You're like, I have nothing to apologize for. Apologize for
yourself. For yourself.
Address your own issue.
Address your issue. Why you don't want my delight?
That brings me to my next segment. It's called Mr. Lova Lova.
Wait, there's a song about that, right? Okay, yes. I think
that's
I heard
it.
So you thought I came up with it?
Oh yeah.
He's jacking shit.
Mr. Lova segment of today, we're going to talk about masculinity within or in relationships and in dating. This topic, of course, it's similar to what we were just talking about earlier with the whole toxic masculinity thing. My first question actually is, do women really want men with no strong masculine traits? Because the narrative so far has been that the men need to rein in some of their, manly instincts because it's abusive to women. That's been the narrative so far.
Actually, no. I think what it is due to history and the way we've been raised as men and women.
Yes.
Like we've been cast into certain roles that boys are like this, girls are like this. There's pinks, there's blues. Where the conversation should be right now, the conversation that we should be having right now is like, let's let children be children. Like if a boy likes a doll, that's okay. If a girl likes, don't tell your son it's not okay to cry. Like if allow men to feel emotion. And this is very real. So for example, I had an experience in New York subway. Swiped my thing. I got stopped by the cops. And this happens a few times. I was upset. I was pissed. I was going for an appointment. I was crying on the platform. I'm like, they take you to the officers. They stop you. They interrogate you, and you've done nothing wrong. It looks like you used somebody else's Metro card. So you can tell that they are profiling men of color at the time when they get out of school. So I'm upset. I get to my hair person and I'm sitting there and I'm boiling and I'm just like trying to let it go. I'm like, these people are not going to shift your day. They like, you can do better. Like, and I'm having an awareness that I'm thankful to be raised in a place where I've been allowed to be able to feel my emotions. Your average man of color here in the United States, or you're not allowed to feel anything. It builds up. So I'm sitting there and I start to talk, and my hair person's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I start speaking, and I start telling her what happened on the stuff. And she's like, "Oh, my brother, please don't cry. You're gonna make me sad." And I was like, "No." I'm like, "Let me feel this." I'm like, "This is not a bad
Sometimes
thing."
you need to get it out.
I'm upset. I need to. I'm like, we need to encourage our men of color.
Do you know that men
let things out because
have the highest rate of suicides
because it comes out. It comes out in many different ways.
It manifests itself
because you're told to keep it in as a man.
So that's the vision of toxic masculinity. That's just one small example. Is to let men feel whatever it is you need to feel. But when you're raised in this is the way you think of football beer. Again, it's not malicious. It's not malicious. It's a conversation that we're aware now. We need to have it, and we need to evolve as a people and as a group.
So for me, when I think of masculinity and feminine, I don't think of neither man or woman. I really care about that. I don't think of heterosexual, whatever, homosexual, whatever. When I think of masculinity or feminism, right, I feel like if you have two guys in a relationship, right, one has to be in their masculine energy, and the other person has to be in their feminine energy for it to work. Right? And if you're in a relationship, if you're a boy and a girl, then one person, I don't care if it's the woman or the man, one person has to be in the
have that.
Yes.
So you're saying one person has to wear one person has to wear wait, are you saying one person has to wear the pants in a relationship?
So that's disrespectful. I really find that to be
no, because that's I mean, I was gonna ask sorry, cut you. I was gonna ask what, because I feel like that's what I was trying to address what you're trying to say, because you said someone has to have the masculine
have to be in their masculine energy.
I don't feminine. So what is masculine energy? What's feminine energy?
To me, masculine energy is like when you're in your feminine energy, you're more caring. You're more.
But that's what we're talking about.
More emotional.
So you're making
more
it
emotion. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter as a man.
So you are saying a man can have feminine energy,
right?
But would you feel sorry?
But
here's the thing.
Saying, right?
Do you think a man that's the problem?
I don't care if you
a straight man might not. In today's world, might not be happy to hear he has feminine energy.
No. Wale. See, I'll explain to you.
Okay, explain. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand. Explain.
All right, so what you're saying, you're thinking man, masculine, woman.
Oh, so you're not.
That's not what I'm saying.
She's not thinking about that.
I'm saying because sex to me is let me say sex like. A man, woman, those like
gender.
What gender is not really something that I care
fluid.
about, right?
Okay, so the label, you're just using the name.
Right.
You're
so
not really.
When I think, that's my opinion, right? I'm saying like when I'm thinking about a man, I'm not thinking about masculine to the man, right? And when I think about a woman, I'm
that's
not.
why I was like,
really,
you saying someone.
So I just want to be clear. You give an example, like let's say there's two guys in a relationship. You feel like
one has to.
Makes
one
sense
still
that
has
one
to
have energy. One has to have
right, so that they can have this.
Now, here's the conversation with toxic masculinity is like
when we're
not made like that. We're not built like that. It's not one or the other. As a 40-year-old man, I know I have masculine and feminine energy, and I've learned to embrace it all.
Yes.
You know, so you being a full evolved person means that you accept every part of you, and if that means you're on the high spectrum of all masculine, that's good. But don't deny yourself any kind of emotion. And again, it's not necessarily crying. It could be caring. It could be liking a certain color.
Just like in an argument.
Men are not supposed to like yellow or pink. You can be a straight man and like pink and know that it's okay too. You know, so it's just teaching.
Oh, shit, I look good in pink, man.
Exactly. So that's where somebody will consider that feminine, but it really isn't, because it's whatever.
If you're confident in yourself,
exactly. So whatever you're assigned to it.
Yeah,
so don't assign don't assign necessarily masculine, feminine, and that's the better world in which we want to raise our kids, because then you allow people to be their true selves. And as a young person, you don't have this internal conflict of,
I agree.
This is how I feel inside, and I'm being told this.
Sorry, I agree, and I think your own is do not prohibit those things.
Allow
when it happens.
But
like, I'll give you an example.
That's the same thing I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's the same she's saying. Right. But like in Scandinavian countries, right? Yeah. This thing I saw on YouTube.
They're so happy there.
Yeah, but did you see this thing where they had these kids, right, from when they were very little, because they wanted to, I guess, counter this toxic masculinity issue, right? And they had little boys in kindergarten, and they would separate the boys from the girls, and they would give the boys like dolls to like make sure, like try to like get them comfortable, almost like they're forcing it on them.
Yeah.
What do you think about that kind of social experiment?
That's not cool. That's not okay. That is a social experiment. The fact that they separated them from the girls and
that's already a problem.
Like that's already a problem. Like period, end of story.
And I think that's what some people are kind of struggling with. They feel like that's what's going on. Like they're trying to like force for certain behaviors.
Got it.
And then what they're doing is, like I said, they're villainizing certain behaviors that they might not necessarily be toxic.
Yeah.
But like it's almost like they're shitting on certain like aggressive things that
people do.
That people do, where it's like sometimes it's not always to be abusive.
Yeah,
but sometimes I know for me, sometimes I want to be controlled, and I need a more masculine person in my life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It could be a woman. It could be anybody. Sometimes we need control.
And you just need that energy.
But that's you as an individual.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
We're so different as people. People want different
things.
Even
in arguments, somebody has to back down. Or you guys are both not going to go. And that's what I mean when I say masculine and feminine energy. Like one person has to just relax for things to work.
So let me ask you something. So like, how about in the arena of dating, for instance? So in that Gillette video, there was one part where this guy wanted to shoot his shot with a girl on the street. Mm-hmm. She was walking past. Mm-hmm. She wanted to shoot his shot. Now, we know that in dating, for the most part, a guy is the one that pursues, right? For the most part, most times,
according to society,
and a lot of girls actually want to be pursued.
Maybe a girl would like you.
Girls
want you
like
to put the
being
work.
Pursued.
Some girls would like you, but want you to put the work.
Let's face it, there are a lot of marriages that have started off of someone catcalling. I'm not saying it's a good thing to catcall women, but they're married. They're unions that have started off of a guy taking a shot with a random girl anywhere.
Yeah.
Things and saying things that, in today's world, they would say, "Oh, you're invading her space. You're this, you're that." And like I said, in that Gillette ad, this girl was walking past, and it was like the guy wanted to go and like say something to her, and the boy said stop. So and it was like Gillette was trying to tell us
that part. I didn't
we cannot shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like
that part didn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. It didn't offend me. It just didn't make sense to me because it's not like he was catcalling her. He just was trying to go talk to her, but I guess
that was dumb. Like
it was,
you don't even know the guy's intent.
We don't know his intent.
So you've already shut
the only time
this is where they
missed their mark.
Overcorrecting.
They're overcorrecting in that place. Yeah, because my take on where that would be only acceptable is if you know that that guy was going to go do something to her, and his boys
they've already assigned
intent. Yes.
Yeah,
and you don't know intent. You don't know intent already. So that part didn't make sense to me. In the commercial, it was like, alpha, but I guess.
My question is, if people are saying that you guys can't just approach women in public, there are even people that say that when guys end up in a girl's DMs, that's like a form of microaggression. Like are we all agreeing that that's definitely not?
But wait, when is it the right time to approach a woman? Is what I need to know.
Guys, I think this is a general. So this is a conversation that happens everywhere.
Open for business.
But I think ultimately it's a general conversation. Like you as an individual, like you know who you are as a man, if I know that I'm doing the best and I don't speak inappropriately to women, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to do a temperature check with the people around me, my sisters, my grandmother, let me know if I'm overstepping, and then I'll continue business as usual. Like there are many good guys out there that don't have a problem talking and engaging with women, and there are people that do have a problem.
Yeah, they're not as charismatic.
People,
they don't have
and this is where there are so many forums of dating. You can go to the bar, you can do online dating, you can take it slow, you can get to know somebody for a month, and it's safe, and you can have that conversation before you meet them. But I guess in my world, I don't see this as a problem.
I think the message they should push is learn to know when to stop or back off.
The thing is
not when to approach,
because some girls say is that some girls say we get too aggressive in our pursuit.
That's what I'm like. So if you go say hi to a girl and she doesn't want to talk to you,
but that depends on the woman.
Guys, what we have to understand is women have been going through this microaggression for years that it hasn't been addressed, where women feel like they don't have a voice to speak up. So we need to be able to listen to them in this moment. Like they've been on the other end of this, where it's not like men were doing things badly intentionally. It's just the norm. It's just society. It's the way it was. Yeah. And a few men took advantage of that and took it too far. Women live in an unsafe space. Women have always had to walk around and always adjust and look around. Of course. Women, that's their existence, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But it's knowing that they exist in this world now. We need to realize that if a woman flinches when somebody walks too close to her, it's not you personally. It's just the fact that it's many experiences that she's gone through. Or if you're at a bar and a girl shuts you down, imagine how many people asked her for her number before you got a, what I'm saying? Like, that's the world that they live in.
So wait, so Laura, I'm curious. So you're about to say something. So what do you think about this? Because you are the only woman here on this panel. And
my stance is still the same.
In terms of a guy approaching you, what's your preference?
I think it's situational, and I think that's what I got from what he's saying. It's situational because if, for example, that same girl that you said a guy walked up and she said no, we don't know if she said yes to the first guy. And that's why she's saying everything is situational. You don't know if the girl was abused and now you're saying hi and she's flinching. We don't know. Everything is situational. For me personally, I like a masculine man.
So like a dominant.
I like a dominant man. That's just what I like. Yeah, there's sometimes when I do want that soft. It's situational.
So that's why I said we shouldn't be teaching. So don't talk, but we should let you know that the moment you walk to the girl and say, hey. And she's like, sorry, I'm not interested. Just back off.
We should be encouraging a conversation.
Encourage a conversation.
Because this is where, again, when you raise boys, like girls talk. People say guys don't talk, men don't talk. My brothers, we talk. We're men and we talk about things. And we should encourage boys to talk and engage with girls, because it's been accepted that girls talk about their feelings and guys are like, But we should encourage dialogue between what do you want? What do you don't want? Like, this is where it's like you can't just assume anymore that it's okay to slap somebody's ass, But again, what's the appropriate time? Okay, maybe it's not appropriate to touch somebody. Do you know how many times on the subway I've seen men bring out their penis, rub, wank? Like, I've seen it, man.
Oh, it's happened.
But you don't see women doing that.
Yeah, so it's like on average, men
you know what I'm saying?
abusive,
you don't see women exactly in this is where we need to be able
to. You definitely have a point
like, you don't see. In the subway, you see men doing things. You don't see women doing these things that men do, and it's because society.
But do you think it's because we don't have our genitalia the way you guys have?
No. It's because of how we've been raised from the dawn of time, 100, 200 years ago, where we were put in these roles.
Like the way we evolved.
It's just the way we've evolved, and that's where we need to be able to. We're looking at where we are as a world now, that you have all these fluid genders and people killing themselves for different reasons, and we have a better understanding of sex versus gender. It's worth it to have the conversation about how we raise our kids, let's make sure that way boys can cry, and he's like, you gonna cry,
but that's on the parent, like how they want to raise.
Absolutely.
And my belief on that is, it's racism, homosexuality, all that stuff is based on that individual, right?
Absolutely.
And their family. That's how I feel. Like, if you're gay, I feel like you were born gay. Like, hey, I'm sorry, it's my opinion, right? If you're racist, it's because you were raised in that environment, right? No one just wakes up one morning and say, yeah, I'm going to hate black people.
Yeah.
So it's like you're born into it and you're raised into it, or your society, your society makes you.
The same thing is said for homosexual.
And I feel
that's
where. No, sorry, no, what's the word? Homophobia. My bad.
Right.
It's like same thing could be said for homophobia.
This is where and why the conversation is important. All it takes is a conversation. I put something in my sibling chat months ago about toxic masculinity. I don't have kids. Corey doesn't have kids, but I do have siblings that have kids, and I'm like, guys, this is important. We should explore this and we should talk about this.
That's the important thing. Talking about it, right?
It's talking about it, because when you're talking about it, you're learning consciously or subconsciously. But once the conversation is there, like over time,
people don't talk.
It's a conversation. It's not to guarantee anything, but the fact that i.e. Falz's video, I'm like, let's rate it anything we want to rate it, but we need to give it the worthy enough.
But there's fear, though. There's fear in that self-hate. If I'm white and I have to tell my white and I'm in a whatever. I mean, I'm white and I don't like black people. I'm racist, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to raise my white kid to have friends with black people. So it's a self-hate situation
it's
where
taught, yeah.
Right. So that's why, and some
But
people
you
don't
as
want to
the
have.
white
Some people don't want to
kid
have that
can
conversation.
Okay, I'll give you my experience with homophobia. Growing up in Nigeria, I don't think I came across anyone who was openly gay. I think in high school there was a guy who we kind of suspected, but I never really treated him differently or acted differently. I was just like, I more was in denial and thought they just calling his feminine behavior gay.
Yeah.
You know, and look at him today. I still can't tell.
Well, people are afraid of what they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't. But I never would be like, don't touch me or don't come here. But then I moved to the States and, you know, I remember a kid I went to school with. I didn't even know it was gay, but we were very close. We're cool. We're friends, a white guy. And there was a day I made a joke because I saw him on Facebook and I thought he was looking at a girl's ass. I was like, oh, I see you checking her ass out. And he just giggles and says, you know I'm gay, right? And I was like, how haven't I seen that in like 4 years of doing it? You understand? And then everything came to me. I was like, oh, you know what? But then I realized that I don't have a problem with him.
Comes in all, yeah.
Living
you know the individual,
that life.
that's
like,
what matters.
And that was the moment I got comfortable with, I don't care if you're gay or not. Like, I never really cared, but like, I didn't feel threatened by, you know,
well,
I felt
because
like
that was your personal story. You actually knew somebody that
I knew, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, nothing like
special.
if you invite me to your house and everything, or say let's go out, I'm not gonna feel like, oh shit, this guy about to rape me or something, you know, because people do feel that way. No, people do feel that way. People do feel that way, you know.
They do.
So, but like sometimes they make it seem like a straight man can't be friends with a gay man.
Yeah, that too.
But that's the thing. I think that's where I have an issue with just labeling homosexuality. Like, I don't go around saying, oh yeah, I'm heterosexual. I'm going to my cousin's house who's heterosexual. I don't like the word. Like, it's a man. If I'm in a relationship, I don't, like, for example, Corey can be dating a guy. I don't know. I just assume.
But you see, growing up, like,
so don't,
you as
that
a,
word
as a, some men,
itself,
but some people don't. You know, do you know
me.
that some men can't sleep on the same bed with another man?
But that's a personal preference.
but it's not until they think it's gay.
Yeah.
Being in that space.
And that's their problem.
Yeah, that's their problem. But I'm saying,
that's something that needs to be talked
and that
about.
goes back to toxic.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that you start feeling, but like, I remember
that you can't.
The day, like,
you know
one of my
saying?
guys
And
was
it
like, dude,
doesn't-
I'm about to crash. Maybe you want to sleep on the floor, sleep on the fucking
You know,
floor, man. That's your headache. I was like, I want to sleep too, you know. So I was like, but you know, I didn't have to feel like, oh, dude, I'm going to divide the bed. None of that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, we're those straight men. We're tired. It was one bed. That's the end of it. You know,
it's a deep conversation.
Even talking about it now, some people are gonna be listening saying that nigga gay.
It's a deep conversation.
But,
it's a deep conversation. But I was trying to stay on the dating relationship topic, but I like where the conversation went. But we're running low on time right now.
Yes.
But just as a reminder, we just wanted to remind you, please don't forget to follow us on Twitter at SmilingPod. We're on Instagram at smiling_sufferer. On Facebook, search for Smiling Sufferer. Thank you very much, Tori, for contributing. My sister was also here. Thank you, Onyeka. Laura, thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And my boy G over here.
Okay, the Black James Bond.
Yeah, you know it. You know it. And Yeti will be back next week.
Hopefully she don't.
So Wale, take us out.
Closing song, Sarz just dropped I guess both songs I played are more like beats heavy, but Sarz just dropped something called an album, a body of work called Sarz Is Not Your Mate, which I think he really isn't any.
SINYM.
It's called Good Morning.